Hello, and thank you for joining us. The Trade Services PIMCore implementation is not only a demonstration that we've put together for the Trade Services Coalition or group, but it's applicable to any other industrial organization, standards organizations. And what it does is it allows the standardization of data across a particular industry. In this case, you're going to see MRO goods and the like. So what we're going to talk to you about is first that data structure. And that data structure is really important because most of the time stores, B2B, distributors, they get incomplete or in many ways unstructured and certainly, no common layout. So what we're able to do here is take all of that information, standardize it, test it for completeness, upload it, and provide it as a service, both for trade services to display and use with its own members, but for those members to import and use on their own websites. The second thing that we're going to talk about is that each and every one of these items, we display multiple pricing, multiple sales pricing rules so that every single company can pull in whatever their various cost might be, as well as the standardized MSRP. The third thing that we want to be able to show is one of the most important things to be able to do is to search. To be able to provide better search and find exactly what you want is a critical piece of any e-commerce system. The fourth thing that we want to talk about is the attributes, right? So being able to provide refinable attributes that go across product types, categories is really what allows you to describe things better, search for things better, and provide this as a better service to your customers. The fifth thing that we want to talk about is really then being able to drill down inside of a category, view the various products, understand all of those attributes, all of those descriptions, and of course, unique pricing possibilities. The sixth thing that we'll show you is really the descriptions. So descriptions are really difficult, right? If you're pulling it from an ERP system, for example, those aren't exactly something that you want to display on your website. So we provide a short description, long description, and of course, product details and technical details as long as you might want to be able to do. But to be able to do it in a short, concise marketing way is actually quite important. The seventh thing that we'll show you is, of course, feature benefits of those products. And one of the things is with these better descriptions, more detailed information, you're going to get an SEO uplift. The eighth thing that's really important is that with our digital asset management system, it's not just a product information management system, but you can manage any kind of digital media whatsoever, from video to photos to blueprints to any kind of technical 3D rendering. All of those kinds of things can be handled, as well as full 360-degree photography images. The ninth thing we want to be able to show you is those documents. So, right, being able to manage PDFs and documents and be able to send those and publish those that can be on a product. Well, we can also do that around kits, bundles, specific pricing, all can be displayed on a website. And so the next thing is kitting. Kitting is one of the more difficult things to do in technical products. And that is because not only are you pulling specific products, but you may be using fasteners or small parts or consumables that actually you don't sell on your website. And so how do you actually pull all that together? Well, that's one of the major benefits of PIMCore and CoreShop's capabilities in our software and what we're going to demonstrate here. Last but not least, we're going to talk about the whole demo. Well, we're here on this demo to talk about a application built by CoreShop Solutions, specifically around the idea of trade services, which is a MRO and parts and product company that works with as an alliance and trade services organization to those industries. So what we are going to show you today is a demonstration of how we've put together an application that meets their specific needs. But further, we believe it is applicable to anyone in the parts, MRO, and products kinds of industries, especially in a business-to-business fashion. So we're going to demonstrate the trade services application built by our lead developer, Eric Rojas. And with that, Eric, please take it away.
Thank you, Robert. We built this application, which is a B2C store on top of PIMCore, by using the inputs that were provided by Trade Services. Trade Services provided us with a sample of their products in a spreadsheet, in an Excel spreadsheet, with the common fields that we may find on any store that exports their products. So we have the usual suspects, such as product name, chart description, line description, maybe a manufacturer, part number, or SKU number. They also have internal ID, but the most particular and specific things that we did for Trade Services is that they have laid out their products, their catalog, on something that they call commodity codes. And they have assigned a description for every commodity code, which is pretty much like a category for any other customer. So basically what we're saying is we can have up to 5 levels deep in their catalog. And for example, this Tenflex friction tape starts at the most root level category, which is fuses, batteries, signaling, connecting, fastening, and tools. And then it goes down to connecting materials, then to tape markers, soldering, and insulating materials. And finally, we get to the 4th level, which is tape. And in this sample file that they provided us, we have between 3 and 5 levels deep for each product. And this is very important so that we will be able to see how visually and in terms of the data schema, we were able to deal with this structure. Also, something that's very important is they have created these schemas. These schemas have a set of attributes linked to them. And each schema may have up to 23 different attributes and values for them. So for example, these products that we may find in the 3rd and 4th row in the Excel file share some common attributes such as type, grade, width, length in yards, length in meters, but they have different values because there are different products, right? So they group these attributes and they assign this name to this schema. So those are masking tape attributes. And it is a good way to have these attributes, but in the database, you may find it very inefficient to store 23 fields with an attribute name and 23 fields with value for each attribute. So it's not, there's a better way, and we want to talk about this way when we get to the admin of PIMCore and we see how we tackle this. Also, at the end of the spreadsheet, in the final columns, we may see some additional information, some features and benefits for each product, which is a marketing text that was created by Trade Services, and they wanted to highlight this. Also, some more information regarding the shipping. And last but not least, we have a set of images that are attached to a product. Right now, we have only one, but we're going to be able to deal with multiple images. We're going to see how. And they also provided us with some links to PDFs that are related to technical documentation. That's coming from the manufacturer mainly. We also may have one video URL that is linked to a YouTube video, and that's something that they wanted to use in the product detail page. because the way that they provided us this spreadsheet didn't have any customer pricing or B2B pricing, then we added a few columns at the end. We added the stores that this product will be available. We have 2 stores configured, one that's B2B and one that's B2C. And also we have 2 columns with the retail price for the B2C store and the distributor price for the B2B store. That's kind of a quick overview of the data that we got from them. And now we're going to see how we managed to incorporate this data into the PIMCore installation. So essentially what we did is we created a process manager. We have this process manager, and we created this trade services import executable. That's the way we call it. And then for one executable, we may run multiple processes, and we have run it a few times. Last time it was the 31st of October. Happy Halloween. And the progress that we're getting is in real time. We get the real-time progress execution of the task. And it will create automatically this trade services folder if it doesn't exist, or it will update any objects that we may have in here. So what does it do? It actually creates the attributes that we may use for each product. It creates the different brands that are also available in the Excel file. It creates the category, but the categories have a hierarchy, right? So we start with the top level categories that we find in the Excel file, such as fuses, batteries, signaling, and everything else that we had for the Temflex friction tape. And then we take advantage of the inheritance capabilities of PIMCore in order to create subcategories for this category. So inside fuses, batteries, signaling, and so on, you may find the connecting materials. And inside the connecting materials, you will find the tape, markers, soldering, and insulating materials. And then inside that, you're going to find the tape. For each category, we may have its name in multiple languages. Right now, we are just using English, but we would be able to add Spanish and German as well. We may add a description for it, and we also have the ability to specify the SEO metadata. We are able to tell PIMCore and CoreShop what stores this category should be available for. We also have the internal commodity code that Trade Services is using. And that's how we were able to create and visually replicate their catalogs. We also have the manufacturers, the products, and the schemas. We also have the manufacturers, the products, and the schemas. So for each product, I'll dig a little bit deeper into this. For each product, we were able to build a data quality summary, because some use cases include regular users, humans, creating products manually. So we want to be sure that the data is complete for these products. So we came up with a completeness index. Most of the products, if not all, that are coming from Trade Services data have this completeness index set to 100 because the product is pretty much complete. But if we were to have something like probably remove the product name or something like that, then this data quality or completeness index will be affected by that. As you can see, we are able to attach one image, one main image that is, to the product. We are also able to assign the name, the short description, features, and benefits from the Excel file in English, Spanish, and German if it was necessary. We have the ability to select the manufacturer and the brand or sub-brand in case that we may need it. So, for example, this product doesn't have a sub-brand, and if we were to have it, then it would be just a matter of drag and dropping the brand to this field. That's one cool feature of Pimcore. You don't have drop downs or select boxes over here that will take some time to load when you're editing a product. As for the categories, we did pretty much the same. We assigned the categories for this product, and we also assigned the schema to it. We also have the ability to specify the meta title and the meta description for SEO purposes in all 3 different languages. And the shipping details that we got from the trade services spreadsheet are also available here. For the digital assets, we are able to import, actually the import processes that we run deal with those URLs and take care of importing them into our own assets manager. In this case, we're talking about digital asset management, which is the DAM section of the PIM. And over here, you see that we have all the product images, all the product sheets, and they are organized by SKU numbers. So for example, the SKU number 124301 has one image, and if it has any other resources, such as a manual or anything like that, or a technical, in this case, a product data sheet, then those files will be available here. So our executable actually takes care of downloading those and organizing them in a neat way. As for the video, we are not able to download the video, but we create a link to it in the product detail view. For the stock, if necessary, we are able to specify this, but trade services data doesn't deal with this. The price, so we created a price for each of the stores. Like I mentioned, we have 2 stores, one that's B2B and one that's B2C. So we have the different prices that came in from the spreadsheet. Pricing rules, we may apply different pricing rules for every product. Those pricing rules may be based on different conditions. CoreShop has a very flexible rule engine, and you can specify those rules also in the languages that are supported by Pimcore. As for kitting, we are able to create kits of products. We're going to take a look at this a bit later. And for the attributes, we may specify the different attributes that are linked to this particular product. So in this case, for example, application or approval, or I don't know, battery voltage, or whatever it's needed, then we're gonna be able to assign it. The difference between this approach and the approach that originally Trade Service took is that we are not having these fields linked to the product unless they are manually or automatically, like in this case, attached to the product. But we don't create 23 different fields for each product, but we create those that are needed. One important thing about the products that we can have in CoreShop is that we may have some variants to them. So, for example, let's think about a t-shirt. So we may think of different sizes or colors of variants of this product. So we just define based on the product attributes that we have. We define what attributes will change, and then we're going to get a new product, a new object that's built upon the base data for the original t-shirt. In this case, we don't have any variants from the different products that Trade Services provided us, but it is important to know that there is this feature. Also, I just want to point out that these products and categories that we created are 100% compatible with our e-commerce engine, and therefore we are able to just use them in our front end. So in terms of the front end, you may see that we have a few different products in our homepage, and we have this laid out which looks a little weird, but we wanted to take the opportunity to show you that we are able to have different columns have different attributes, have different layouts of the add to cart button for each product. So if we take a look at this magnetic contactor, for example, we are going to go into the detail page, and on the detail page, we're going to be able to see the different images that may be linked to this product. Keep in mind that Trade Services only had one, but we are able to have more than one. We also have the description, the specification, and the documents that were set for this product. All these specifications are, I just want to make sure that it is clear that these specifications are coming from the attribute set that we defined for this product. So if we look this product up in the Excel file, we're going to see that this product has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, well, just about 12 to 15 different attributes, and those are the values that were specified in the Excel file. We also have a description, and over here you may see that we have a short description, which is actually a mixture of the short description plus the features and benefits that were set in the Excel file. So we also have the ability to specify related products. Right now, we are using some very random rules to it, but we can specify what rules we want to use. So for example, we could bring products that belong to the same category, to the same price range, that are actually linked manually because they belong together. For example, if we have a light bulb, then we probably want to have a switch and some cables as either optional accessories or related products, something like that. As you can see, we also have the full path in terms of commodity descriptions in order to get to the product. So we have the controls, industrial motor controls, contractors, IEC contactors, and then we have the magnetic contactor that we're looking at. If we go to the parent category, then we're going to see the category listing, which can be either, well, this is the only product that we have in this category, but we may have the listing displayed as a list or as a grid. There's not really a huge difference, but some users may prefer to have a grid rather than a listing. We also have, from the product detail page, we have the ability to add this product to our cart. And in our layout, at the top right corner almost, we have the cart summary, where it tells us that we have the products that we have, how many of each product are in our cart, and the price. So we get a subtotal of each, and then we also have the total of all the products that we have in the cart. The checkout process can be customized a little bit, but right now we are trying to have the, let me just go back to the cart so that we can see the cart itself. So the cart actually has the same data that we find in the summary, but with more space in between, that we are able to see the prices, the quantities, and everything more clearly. And we also have the ability to specify the taxes for each product. The taxes is also are also based on our rule engine, which is pretty flexible. We may specify taxes by city, region, country, depending on whatever is the regulation for each of the countries or regions that you are selling this product to. We also have vouchers and discount or promo codes that can be applied to the totals. And the checkout, like I was saying, can be customized, but we usually try to stick to the possibility to have customers that are guests, so they don't create an account in our e-commerce platform, but they provide all the information for this sale. But if a customer is a recurring customer, he probably wants to register and create a new account so that he doesn't have to put in the same data over and over again. So as you can see, we got the data from the database, or we could have put it in as a guest customer. This is all configurable, so we may force registration, or we just may disallow it, like in this case. It's an optional step. Once we have specified our shipping destination, we can choose our shipping method. In this case, we have UPS configured. And finally, we have the payment options. Right now, we have only one option that is hidden. And we get the summary of our order at the end with a total of 81.25. Now, when we hit the buy button, then it's going to process our payment through a gateway. And if the operation is successful, then we're going to get, sorry, I forgot to agree to the terms and conditions. Then we're going to get our order created in CoreShop. So going back to this is the order as the customer sees it. And in CoreShop, we have the different orders that have been created in our system. So going back to our homepage, you may find one particular product that gets your attention. This product is a kit, which is a product that's composed of some other products. This product is my kit name. So let's see what it looks like, and then we're going to see how it was created in the backend. It has 3 different products. It also has the 3 different descriptions for the products that are built in this kit: the cutting saw, the hammer drill, and the paddle switch. So we have the details for each of those, which are actually automatically incorporated from the details for each product. And if any of these products had a document, those will be here. Let's see how we deal with this product in the backend. So basically, we have the products. And over here, we can sort by any of these fields that are visible. This is what we call the grid, the admin grid. So as you can see, it is basically a new product that has one main image attached to it, linked to it, which is this one. And since most of the data is coming from products that are in this kit, that's why we get a completeness index of 25. But over here, we could provide a specific description for this kit, short description, and features or benefits for this kit. So we don't have to rely on the data that we put in for other products, but we can specify something that will really be different in this kit. So how did we create this? So remember that we had this kitting tab over here. We marked this product as a kit. And over here in the kit product section, we simply dragged and dropped the products that were linked to this kit, just like that. So if we needed to have 5 different products, then we would just drag and drop them, and then we would save and publish this product. And as soon as we do that, then our kit will be updated in the UI, in the user interface, in our store, and we will have those products built in. So it's just the ones that I just added. And the same thing will happen. We will automatically incorporate those description, details, and documents. So in this case, the fuse actually has a document, and it will be available for the customer to check it out. So we are able to see the PDF in the browser as well as the customer. And that's pretty much how we deal with the kits. We're able to provide custom description, custom benefits, custom short description, even custom pricing, because the price also can be manually modified for each store. So even though most e-commerce platforms have to deal with the sum of the products are inside this kit, we don't have to stick to that rule. By default, we use that rule, but we can have a different price for each store. That is pretty much the way that we laid out the data, that we can look for it. And there are two special cases that I want to show you. So for example, as an admin, I may want to find a particular product. So in the admin section of Pimcore, I'm able to really find anything through this quick search option. And I can just put in, I don't know, fuse. And then it will fetch all objects, including assets that might be related to fuse. So for example, it just turned the categories that have the word fuse in it, but it also returned the PDFs or assets that have a fuse, the word fuse in it. And it also returned this product, which is a fuse, obviously. And we are able to just modify those objects that are returning there. So if I known exactly what the product SKU number was, so in this case, this SKU number, for example, and I needed to modify something in it, then I would just perform a quick search on that SKU number. I'm just going to copy this SKU number, and I'm going to search for this SKU number. And as you can see, it brought me exactly the product that I was looking for. So that's a way to really find something in this catalog from the admin side, real easy. And from the front side, well, we do have a search option at the top that will allow you to search for any particular product that we may have. We also have the ability in the, as you can see, we got the product that we were looking for. In the admin section of the PIM, I'm going to close this PDF as we don't need it anymore. But in the admin section, you may see this, that we have the products, and the grid will tell you how many products we have. In this case, we have 67, but we may come up with probably a few hundred thousands of different products. So having these search capabilities on both the user side and the admin side is a must, because it can be very difficult to find a needle in that haystack. One more feature that we haven't explored yet is the ability to add videos to the product. So in this case, what I'm going to do is I'm going to modify the kit, and I'm going to add a URL that I got from YouTube that has the video of some random Milwaukee drill. And I'm going to save this product. I just copy and paste this URL. And I'm going to save this product. And once I save this product and I refresh the kit page, then the video is going to be available for any user to just view it.
Introducing the M12 cordless 3/8-inch hammer drill driver, part of the industry's largest and most versatile subcompact system.
That's how we can deal with videos that are linked to products. In order to wrap up our presentation, I would like to go over a PowerPoint presentation where we're going to talk about everything we covered as a brief summary.
So this is what we've shared with you around the Trade Services PIMCore implementation. The purpose is that essentially this is an aggregation of goods and products and various types of kits that can be provided to MRO, B2C, B2B companies as a single database that has everything and all the attributes normalized, which is extremely rare in this industry, so that it's easy to pull information for these companies. And that's really what Trade Services is absolutely able to offer its members. So the point here is that when we're able to build these things for an organization, they can be used by any industry. Eric's just going to step through for us what we just showed you.
Thank you, Rob. So basically, we were able to see the Trade Services data structure, how we dealt with the categories, the B2C, B2B pricing, and how we calculated the data completeness and many other attributes that we have in the original spreadsheet. There is one thing that we didn't talk too much about, which is the time it will take to load too many records. There are a few strategies for this, but it will depend on the final number of records that we may need to load. We also mentioned that we can have different prices for the different stores that we may have in PIMCore. We also mentioned that there are some rules that we can apply to this pricing, such as customer groups, such as sales that will start on any given date and on any other particular date. For example, Thanksgiving specials or Christmas specials as well. And we also may have different pricing for customer groups. So once the user is registered, we can assign this user to a customer and to a customer group, And once we create a product, we may assign special pricing for this customer group. Those are some of the rules that we can apply. We can apply rules by quantity, rules by some other customer attributes, or even some other product or cart attributes. We also talk about the search module, how it works in the front end, how it works in the back end. We also mentioned that it's different from any other platform that's out there, those particular features, because they search on every object that we have in the system, rather than having to go to the category listing and then apply filtering or searches on that listing. But we have this tool that will allow us to search throughout PIMCore and return any results that are related to our criteria. But one important thing is that we could connect to an Elasticsearch engine or a Solr search engine in order to perform the searches. The requirements will vary depending on the amount of records or objects that we may deal with. But what we saw today is the default PIMCore and CoreShop functionality. So that's something that we wanted to show you. For product refinable attributes, we were able to see how we dealt with the schema that was coming from Trade Services data sheet. And we also saw how we were able to assign those attributes in a more efficient way than having those 23 attributes, names, and values hard-coded into a table or something like that. So I think it's a strong point for us to be this flexible. That will allow you to have pretty much any kind of data or attributes related to a product without the limitations of maybe 23 attributes. We also mentioned how the category drill down is set, how it was reflected in the UI through the path that gets created to a particular product, and through the drop-down menus that we have in our layout. So that's how we guide the user to a particular product category. And that's how a user can know exactly what the category path is for any product that the user may be watching at any time. We were able to see the short description built into the system, and we were able to see it in action in our front end, as well as the features and benefits that we have for each product. We were able to see how we could handle multiple images, the images that can be added into the product. We also may have 360 degrees images added or linked to a product. We didn't see that today, but we can have that. We also can have multiple documents and videos that may be attached to a product or even to a kit. And we saw how those get displayed in our user interface, and how the video gets rendered in the product detail view. As for kitting, we were able to see how we could create kits based on existing products, so we don't have to reprocess or duplicate the data that we have already in the system. How it looks when we browse to it, the special pricing, we saw how we can specify price for any of the stores. We were able to see how we can have a different SKU number for this product, a different description, a different name, a different short description, and a different field with features and benefits. So our kitting capabilities are also very flexible. And that is all I had for today. Thank you very much.